Hi. Hello. Oh my god, you wouldn't believe it. Everything in my kitchen works now. Yay! Hi! Hello! It's me, the local virtual baker, Saltea Kichee. Hi, hello. Hi lads, how are you doing today? Ah. Hi, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing grand. Look, we're in the kitchen now, and I can finally bake again. Oh my god. Granted, I've been able to bake, but not on the same sort of magnitude, the sheer amount of quantity and quality that I'm used to usually. That I can also stream it now. My entire situation of like my kitchen just blowing up for some reason is now back in order. The flesh suit can continue its activities and do some testings in here and there. So yeah, but still trying to figure out flesh soup. No, the flesh suit, not soup, suit. Like the soup, like a super suit, like a costume, like a because when I gotta jump into a fleshy body to start actually doing stuff in the real world. Gotcha, and what are those twisties? Well, I'm glad that you asked because today is not. I'm okay. So to be honest with you, lads, I'm still trying to figure out how the hell am I going to actually do baking streams because it is a lot of waiting, really, and especially when it's some of it is sourdough, it makes it even more time consuming. So I'm trying to figure that out, but the things that are here today, I've been kind of working on them the entire day around. Stop streaming, come back later. But later is like very like weird because sometimes it can be like 5 minutes, it can be 5 hours, it can be 30 minutes. There's a bit of leeway with time sometimes, but so far, I think I've timed everything perfectly today to where everything is kind of going to be almost synchronized. So yeah, but currently today we are testing a lot of things because I have decided to actually what is it? To actually do some more things, to do more stuff, some more things. And especially when it comes to that is not the right thing. Hold on, wait, let me go grab it real quick. All right. Here, let me pull up the thing. Oh geez, which one is it? I think this is the one. Yeah, this is the one. All right. So, howdy. Food's looking good. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I want to get these semantics out of the way first, just because for me it's kind of important. I want you guys to see it because very slowly yet surely I've been updating my recipe book because I've had a whole bunch of these recipes here sitting in the experiment book right now. And, there are some things that are still being worked on, but I have now decided to actually add a whole lot of new things. For one thing, I've actually added a new category because I want to start delving into this more about doing sourdough based breads, about breads that are just made with sour starter instead of using yeast. So let's say you want to be a purist when it comes to like yeast and not use any active yeast, but you want to use the fresh starter and all that whatnot, you'll be able to work with these recipes now. And these recipes are going to be adapted from my recipes that are original to here. Like the focaccia recipe is pretty much verbatim the same recipe except for the double O flour. And other sort of. Well, okay, so no, it is verbatim the same thing. There are some liberties taken, like, oh yeah, you don't need to make a biga fermentee anymore because the sourdough is kind of your poolish in a sense. Well, you don't have that's not a biga. That is a poolish. A poolish is wet, more wet. But you don't have to make a poolish because your sour starter is your poolish. So there's a lot of stuff like that So, of course, if you can't put two and two together, that right there is the test for the sourdough focaccia. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna really be that great because I'm just not confident in myself. It's been a while since I've done some experimentations. So, we're gonna see what happens and hopefully it's gonna be good. But that's one thing. Wrong one. Another thing is that I still need to take pictures of. I've added another bread recipe that I haven't really talked about too much, but I have made a naan recipe. So if you ever want a good recipe for some good quality naan that's kind of nice and like balanced, sweet, all that whatnot. Not terribly sweet, but like in the background. I try to add as minimal sugar as needed, but it kind of did feel almost plain and kind of bordered on the idea of or tortilla, which to be fair, you honestly probably could make a tortilla of this recipe. You would just have to take out the sugar, and maybe instead of using ghee and yogurt, you would probably just mix out the milk and the ghee, the milk and the yogurt. Switch that out for just water, and then use instead of ghee or butter, you would want to use lard. That's how traditional tortillas are made. I think. Haven't looked into it, but I think that's how it works. So I've been doing that. I've been trying to just adapt, do some graphic design, if you will. But if you do not know, I'm not good at graphic design. Why'd you spell it with an apostrophe? I believe that's how you spell none. Here, let me look up. Let me look up on another thing here, because I'm pretty sure you spell it with none. Well, it is, but isn't. Some of it is, some of it isn't. I don't know. Fine, I'll just spell it like that. Nan instead of using nan or nan or nan. Yeah, I don't really have a fun. I don't have the cool little nan, the cool thing to do it with. So, oh, that looks bad. There we go. Now it's good. Now it's ready to go. So yeah, that is that recipe of naan and all that. So I do have some good pictures of it. I just need to post them. But I also really need to like make it look prettier because I hope you all can agree that these pages look kind of boring, almost like a really quickly made jammed together school project. So I definitely would like to actually do some graphic design, but I'm not good at graphic design. So maybe I can get someone to help me. Don't know. But not only are we doing that today, as you may or may not be able to see, we also have my loaf pan, which does have bread inside, and we have those spirally loaves there, those spirally buns. So we're also testing two new VTuber bread recipes, and I kind of thought about it, and since it's like cherry blossom season and all that whatnot, the Sakura blossoms and all this sort of stuff, and I just love drinking like cherry blossom tea. And there's a lot of pink VTubers I see, and I really would like to associate them with like cherry blossom because it was just a thing I written down in my recipes and whatnot or idea things. That is what we're doing with today. So, I am testing two recipes today of two VTubers that I haven't really, I don't think I talk about, but one of the two of them are very much one of my favorites, and I have a lot of favorites, so take that for what you will. But we are testing a recipe. It is a lot of words here, but it is a basically milk bread recipe, except there's no milk. So that's why I'm going back to the recipe, the original recipe name, which is called shokupan. But it's made with a Chinese style in the sense of like the softening agent. If you don't know, there's actually two ways of making milk bread. There's the Chinese method, which is not really too different, and well, which is the one that everyone knows. But then there's actually a Japanese method, which is kind of funny because you instantly think of milk bread and you think that is from Japan. But tangzong is more of a Chinese technique. So there's that to keep in mind. That and just I don't know, just staying on the idea because I thought so. For that, and also I just kind of want to diversify and make like more Chinese related bread and then Japanese related bread, so you can actually tell the difference too, I guess. And also, this is gonna be a fun little the Tangzhong Zong Zhong Tangzhong Zhong. Okay. You get the idea of what I'm trying to say here. The Tangzhong, like jug, tang jug, Tangjong, really Tangjong. Okay, you get the point though. This is the spiral buns because I think it just makes sense for her at least because whatchamacallit, she's a bunny, she's a rabbit cyborg thing. So I just thought like, oh, it's gonna be quite lovely if I just did that because it's cute. But I tried to make it like spiralized because I think she has like braids or something. Let me see. Gotta pull up a reference. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was staring at these like tubers for quite a while though, just cause I'm bad at doing this, I think. Or maybe that's just like my self-doubt kicking in. Either way around it. Who knows, who's to say, but this is Zuzu. Very cool. She does a lot more cooking than me. I think she is very, very talented. I think she is miles better than what I do, and I would appreciate you guys if you just go follow, subscribe, all that whatnot. So hold on, let me actually just shout her out. Shout out Zuzu Chan. Love her. She's great. Very talented of what she does. Cyborg bread equals bread with inorganic components. Yeah, of course. I want to add like bricks into it. No. But when I look at like the little skirt here and these little things, I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to signify, but I just think of flowers and cherry blossoms and stuff like that. And I believe she is a bunny. So with that being said, I just thought like, oh, making it like, I kind of was on that fine line of making it like I might want to make it strawberry flavored. But the issue about that is that I also have an ideology with Zuzu's bread in the sense that it needs to be very cool, but it needs to have a lot of purpose. All purpose, if you will. I would kind of wanted to make it like an all purpose sort of bread. So making it so it's kind of like a blank slate, a delicious bun that you can just eat on your own or have stuff on it or put stuff in it. I actually even have it so you can put fillings inside. Maybe you could do jam. Maybe you could do coconut shavings because that was the one I was basing off this recipe off of, but using my recipe and then taking the techniques and whatnot. Yeah, so the flowering part, the little spiral, I thought that just kind of works well with the flowering and all that whatnot would just work well here. So that's why I went with that. I did make it cherry blossom flavored because pink flowers. Also I don't yeah, okay, so anyways, the flowering things here, the pink that she is, and like bunnies. Bunny, you when you make a bunny, when there's a bread to base off a rabbit or a bunny, it's really hard to not really do a bun of sorts. Would like to do like a stuffed bun though, but that's might be a little bit too much. And like still wanting to stay true to the idea of all purpose, many uses, etc. What's that bread with the dry bean in it called? Red bean buns? If you're talking about like red bean buns, yeah, I think that's kind of what they're called. I'm not sure exactly what their actual name would be, but like I do actually have red beans, and I would like to do a stream to where I'm just making red bean buns. but that's for another stream. This stream is specifically for testing recipes and all that whatnot. So yes. Speaking of which, I'm kind of sitting at my desktop right now, but let me just really quickly give this guy a shake. Alright, he's video. Alright, well, that bad boy is gonna go in the oven for a bit. It is completely, disgustingly warm and hot in this area now. But this is the life of a baker that I shall live, and I am for it because I love my breads. I love my baking. I'll tolerate a little bit of heat. Oh no, I can't sweat. What's the big deal? I one of the very few things of like, oh, I love my Asian genetics. Oh my god, I love my Asian genetics for this because I don't have to worry about sweating, which is great because apparently that's a gene in like for Asians, very a lacking of sweat, or you sweat a lot depending on where you are, or and having no BO. I smell like nothing, so yeah, no sweat, no BO, great, lovely time, huh? So yes. Okay, so anyways, that is Zuzu, and that's kind of the idea of that. Well, and also she has little hair buns too, so hey. Now it makes even more sense. Alright. Hi Pandora, oh my goodness, it's my token French gal, oh my god. Hi there. First thing I hear when arriving is sweaty salty. More like not sweaty nor smelly salty. Exactly. I don't sweat and I don't smell. Even when it's kind of funny cuz like there's times where like I feel like I'm sweating, but then I put my hand where I think I'm sweating and it's like not sweat. It's like phantom sweat. It's like I feel like my body is trying to exert something, but there's nothing coming out. Anyways, there's another bread that is being made, and that is for Miss Kira Spica. She is a very cool VTuber that I found about when I went to Offkaya for the first time, and my god, I was blown away by her music and the show that she did. I think she was the not 2025, 2020, 2024. Yeah, 2024. She was part of the main event of sorts, but she did a really excellent show, and it was really good. So much so, I just felt inspired and I actually watch her in the background. It's so great. I love her stuff. And well, I think it only made sense to make a bread based off her. But I will say this one has a little bit more intricacies, and I'm interested to see how this turns out. Mostly because that it is very different. And I also don't know what's the I don't know what her background is, if she's like Japanese or Chinese, whatever it may be. If she's not like any Asian at all, I'm just gonna leave it at Japanese because I think it just works. Because either way, it's fluffy, it's soft, it's luscious, it's fluff. It's like a cloud because she is a cloud piano girl, idol singer, great, love her. But I had to do a lot more intricate things for her, such as blooming, not blooming, like lightly, no, seeping in an entire cherry blossom tea bag. I first gotta break the tea bag. The blooming and then steeping an entire thing of heavy cream. I gotta actually make sure I make that change here, because there are some people that get a distinction differently. Different distinction. So I had to steep a tea bag of heavy cream and let that sit for like 3 hours and kind of lightly simmer it. So I had that. Then there's vanilla, there's strawberry powder, because this one is like, okay, I think I can make this a little sweet because it kind of lines together to being more of a sweet sort of palette here. So I went with that. So, and she is unlike Zoo, grossly pink. Not, I don't mean that derogatory, but she is a lot more pink. And also, there's a bit of blue on her, and I'm not sure why. What? Actually, you know what? I know exactly why. Um. So whenever I see blue nowadays, I always think of vanilla, and I was thinking like, why do I always think about that? But then I remembered these lovely treats. Goddamn, I love Tootsie Rolls. And like I love the vanilla ones, and I always associate now like blue and white and other stuff with like vanilla. So there's a lot of things of association that I have with like trying to figure that out. So it's like, okay, the pink would be good to add some strawberry powder because I have a lot of strawberry powder still left over. So I want to use that strawberry powder. She's a cloud VTuber and an idol, so a cloud idol. I want to stray more to like a Japanese sort of ordeal here, and you know, milk bread tends to be this very luscious, soft, almost airy and cloudy thing. So I wanted to really go with that. And the blue just makes me think of vanilla. So, but I didn't want to use vanilla bean because vanilla bean has like those speckles, and that's not exactly desirable in this regard. And I just wanted like a nice, almost pure, clean, just flavor of vanilla with a little bit of strawberry as well. So that's the deal with that. And I came up with trying to do this. This one's a bigger mouthful. It is a strawberry vanilla cherry blossom shokupan. And I want to add more because I actually made a huge change with this versus like my normal milk bread recipes, and that is using cream. I usually use milk and butter and egg and all that whatnot. Actually, I gotta make sure I have that. Hold on, I almost forgot. One egg, because that is another ingredient that is necessary for this. It adds richness and rise and all that whatnot. But let's see. This is made with cream, pure cream, instead of using like a mix of milk and butter and stuff like that. Mostly because I want these recipes to be easier to make. That's something I'm kind of like really wanting to do with my new recipes making forward from this. I want to make them a little bit easier, if you will. And cream kind of hits the both of the margins. It adds that nice richness from the butter. It's nice and it has that, it's just milk but more fatty. So you get kind of the best of both worlds by using cream and not needing to use butter and milk. And to be a bit more transparent, I just did not have any butter. I didn't have any butter because I made an amazing, that is... Oh. Twitter's down. That's actually the best news I've heard all day. Wow. Maybe. Well, either way, go to my Twitter. I recently posted some pictures of some breads I've made. I made some sourdough, and I did a 2-day difference versus a 1-day difference. And I only tasted the 2-day difference bread because the 1-day difference bread is going to be for my friend. But the main thing is that I forgot where I was going with that. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways. Plus, the cream makes it a little bit more luscious too. Yeah, it adds a bit more velvety softness, fluffiness, etc. So, yes. It just makes it's a lot more thematic, sensible to actually use more cream. Just makes sense. So yeah. But the yuyade, I used I used like a bit of tea water from here because this I made with no milk. I added a little bit of cream just because I feel like it did need it. It needed at least some sort of fat product, some sort of dairy, so I added cream. So I'm actually kind of curious. I wonder if you could get like boba tea and just throw that in there. That'd be grand. So there's that. And then there is the other tea. I mean, the other thing I've made But yeah, they both have an element of cherry blossom flavorings. I'm just worried about two things. First things first, I'm actually worried about this bread. This one was a little bit too dry, so I'm a little worried to see how that is gonna come out. It's a little bit too dry, so it might be a little bit more dense, but that is why I do these test streams to begin with. I talk to you guys about it, I tell you the ideology, we go through the steps here, we go into the mind of me, Saltea Kichee. Ooh, who likes to think? No one likes to think. That's why I do the thinking. So you can just go like, ah, that definitely makes sense. Hopefully. I'm not sure. You might think I'm an absolute idiot. And honestly, you're not too far from the truth because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a self-taught baker. Everything I know is all with these two hands. Which I will throw at ya. So yes. There are some other things I do want to do. I'm not sure when I'm gonna work on these recipes, but Mip's bread, I definitely want to work on again. Daishima's bread, I haven't really heard about Daishima too often anymore. I think he's more on Blue Sky, so that's probably the reason. But sourdough brioche, bagels, other sort of whatnot and all that whatnot. You know, there's a lot of stuff I want to start doing more. I want to do more, and I want to showcase all that because, well, at least the important things. Because like, when it comes to like doing a stream like today, I find it very difficult because I don't want to keep your time here too much, you know, because you're gonna just see me mixing and then doing all that stuff that you've probably seen me do 20 times already. But look, all the business is done, and now you can actually see the baking, the fun stuff. Or unless that is a good part, I'm not sure. Smell my focaccia. It smells quite good actually. Baking is a trial and error anyways. Recipes are just suggestions and guidelines to start with. I do not agree. I think baking stuff. Okay, when you're making a recipe, yes, that's kind of the given for anything though. But if you are baking a recipe that is tried and true and, you know, ready for you to make, then you should follow it to a T. Making a recipe actually does require a lot of knowledge. You got to know what ingredient does, how is it going to impact the dough, la 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 la. And honestly, I didn't do that too well for the Japanese style milk bread, which I'm kind of interested to see how it turns out. But since it is drier, it's gonna have a slower rise. I think it's been in the loaf pan for quite some time, and I don't even think it's even doubled in size. Let me go take a quick look though. So, oh, that has kind of doubled in size, but it's like weird looking, just like thin or risen. Able to make this super later. Fun. Yay! I'll take a look. Ah! Right. The towel is wet. Ow. Yeah, the thing about doing focaccia in like my oven, for instance, it's not really the best oven. The best way I can describe it is that it is very much a granny oven. Not a bad thing, but it's not a great thing. But, whew, it cooks a little bit more weirdly. That's why baking in like a, what is it? Baking in a cast iron is a lot better, but unfortunately, I don't have a cast iron that big. Honestly, I could have probably baked it at a higher temperature, but I'm a little worried about doing focaccias at higher temperatures, like 400. This one's at like 375 Fahrenheit, going like 425 might be a bit much. Maybe 400 would be a nice in between, but well, I don't know. We'll see it. Wet towels and hot pans hurt. Yeah, because that is, in essence, a steam burn, which is one of the worst burns you can give yourself. Yeah, it is quite warm in here, and I think I just ran out. I ran out of water. All right, no more water. Water is off the menu. We got no more water. But here, let me see if I can pull up some stuff. First and foremost, let's talk about the future when it comes to VTuber breads, because I actually do have a lot of breads I still want to do, and I'm very excited. I would be very excited to show you a lot. There's a lot of stuff I really want to do, but it takes time, obviously. Text Ducky. There we go. I'm not sure how good the resolution is, but you're just use your imagination, all right? If you can see it, I'm not sure. I have no idea if you can see it well or not. Yeah, I don't. I hope you can see it. But I have kind of been. I do this just casually on the side because I just love thinking about all these breads that I could possibly do, but then realize I'm either too broke or too lazy to make them. But there's a lot of bread recipes I have made and conjured and still needs tinkering. There's a lot of bread like that. First and foremost, these two right here are oh yeah, okay. So these two on the bottom are they kind of currently signify what I'm currently working on. And well, I'm currently working on Spica's bread, Zuzu's bread. Those are the first two I'm working on. And then from there, I am going to first of all, I gotta workshop Mima's. Her bread is strange, strange to say at the very least. So I definitely want to make it a little bit better. A campanada non sounds weird, honestly, and she might be weird, but she's not that weird. She's not campanada non weird, you know. There is other breads like a Mila's bread that I still need to work on. The walnut blueberry Dutch bread I want to work on. That is something I very much want to try and do. So I might try and do that today, and maybe I'll do another baking stream sometime this week. We'll see. Mips bread. Mips bread I think is pretty much almost there to being finished. I just need to, well, first of all, go back to the stream to where I did hit her and Daishima's bread and do a proper analysis, or a second analysis, because it's been so long since I've made that bread. So I need to go rewatch the stream so I can get proper notes and then redo their breads. Daishima's bread, I definitely think I need to add more. I remember Daishima. He needed, not him, but the bread I'm making for him, he definitely needs more matcha. Definitely needs more matcha. Actually, it sounds pretty similar to pizza I made yesterday with a thick crust and eggplant sauce. Yeah, but like but then we get into the realm of pizzas, and that gets a little bit more, what's the word? Not contentious? Because I do want to try and keep this recipe book here just bread. And pizza does qualify as bread, but that is something I'm still trying to work out. You know, it's a weird, yeah, exactly. It's a weird gray area. So there's a lot of silly semantics that I have to put my silly little brain to. Also, I'm calling a very specific chatter out in particular because I need her opinion, and her opinion is a very important opinion. You guys might not care. Hell, you guys might not even know what we're about to talk about, but there is a French lass in chat who is going to hopefully tell me their true opinion on this. This is my attempt at a sesame seeded sourdough baguette. I personally think that you can't even see the thing I'm trying to show you. This. I think they look like shit. Granted, they tasted great. Well, a piece of them, because I did take a piece because I wanted quality control, you know? They tasted good. They tasted like a really high quality sourdough. The color was pretty spectacular. The sesame seeds stayed on. But as you can see, there's a few tumors here and there, you know? There's a tumor there, there's a tumor, you know, there's a tumor right here, there's a tumor right here, and right here. Like, goddamn, the top loaf right here looks like a pair of glasses. You could probably go out and say. All it needs is like a little bit of side stuff, and then you can have a goddamn pair of glasses of them, or hell, you could have a car. I don't know. But and this one I would say is nice, but you don't see the underside here because it's kind of open. But I think I know the crux of the issue, and the issue is that I'm really shitty at shaping baguettes. So I definitely want to start working on making better baguettes. So yeah, that is something I just need to work on a bit more. But I personally think it looks like shit. And also, that's not even talking about the scores. The scores are just so disappointing at the end of it all. So there's that. I think it overall looks good. Do you have a baguette pan? I do not, because I do not feel like spending money like that, and I don't feel like taking it to work every day. So yeah, the one on the bottom looks best. Yeah, it does look the best, but it still has a bad underside. But yeah, they all tasted good at the end of the day. So I hope that my token French gal in chat would look at that and then laugh at me and say, "Oh ho ho, it looks like shit." Well, we we love stereotypes. Yay. Alright, anyways. Let me go take a little look-see at the bread. Give me a seckie here. I'm gonna go check the touch. Alright. Definitely probably could use better of. I throw it back in the oven though, because I'm color. But just because of doing that doesn't mean I'm from these bad boys. I am actually quite worried about the what is it? Those milk breads, because I think they're gonna suffer the same problem that I had with Mips bread. That being that they were way too big. They definitely doubled in size, which is good. They proved correctly. They're a little big. So, we gotta work on that. Maybe? I don't know. I gotta probably. There's a method I want to do with that, but I'll figure that out another time. But I'm excited to see how that goes. I know, I think in the recipe it talks I talked about doing an egg wash, but that's more of like aesthetics. And although aesthetics are very important, I want to make it taste good first. Once the flavor is solid and set in stone and perfect, and there's like nothing else I personally see I can do with it, then we work on the aesthetics. Baking bread and whatnot like this is always a two-step process. The idea, the testing phases, and then the aesthetic phases. The testing phases are always the most important, and then the aesthetics are kind of secondhand and almost never taken into consideration. But sometimes they are something that I need to take in consideration for. Hell, I might honestly might not even need it because since it is milk bread can probably darken a lot more quickly. There's a lot more dairy, there's sugar and stuff like that. So Maillard reactions might happen a bit more commonly versus the recipe I based it off of, which did require an egg wash. So there's that. Although it doesn't look very baguette-y. Yeah, you're talking about the cancerous baguettes. Yeah, they have a few tumors here and there. They were tasty tumors though, let me tell you. So, okie doke. The bottom one. Yeah. If anything, it's more akin to like hoagies. If that makes sense. They're more akin to like hoagie rolls. So they would make amazing hoagie rolls. I will. Anyways, it looks like a loaf, just not a baguette. Yeah, they're definitely a little bit too thick, like width. They're too wide. They're not like nice and thin and long and blonde like a nice French fry, I guess. But I haven't really been making many breads recently. I think the last one was with Tori, but I haven't really done anything off of that. It's been quite some time. So it's definitely something that I needed to do for quite some time. Yeah. And there are some breads I want to rework. Cherubi's bread, I definitely want to rework because I feel like it's very unremarkable. I feel like it's very it's honestly a little lazy. I feel like I can definitely do her justice a bit better, though I have to try and think a bit more about her design. Don't need the Capri Sun just because I think that just makes the most sense. It's too. I think it's just such a crucial thing. I definitely want to work on this because it was good, but I want to make it a bit more acceptable. That's good. That's good, and that's good. So yes, there is a lot to be There's a lot of things to be had. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that is the current sitch. That is the situation. I definitely want to add some more words and stuff. And also this is actually quite nice, this whole document here, because it's slowly progressing into like what you would see in like a proper cookbook and all that. Like this cookbook I have in my hand that you can't see, bread illustrated, because you know there's usually a table of contents, but since it's online you see it on the side here to the left, and then you know those contents are like, oh, this is this quality, that kind of bread, that kind of bread, and then you know you have your basic breads, the sourdough breads, the VTuber inspired breads, and for some reason a kimchi dedicated thing too, because I don't know. I think that's fun. It's kind of random. Why is it there? And I just like kimchi, so fuck off. This is my book. Man, it'd be fun to actually get this printed as a book, but I don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. Especially since it's constant and I'm constantly adding more and more and more to it. So there's that. Gotcha. Alright, the focaccia turned out nicely. You can't see it, so I'll actually give you a better presentation of it. I think it looks quite good, no? Focacciated. Sure. Okay, that's a word now. Focaccia. It definitely does look like focaccia. I just don't like my oven. for this. Definitely think I probably should have made it hotter. So actually, you know what? Since I can, I'm gonna tinker the recipe right now. I'm not gonna say 375. 375 or 20 or 400 F to C. 400 to 225. I don't know how like European ovens work. I imagine that they go up bit by bit. So if that is to be the case, 205, rounding up because yeah, need plants on top of them. Yeah, probably. But once more, I kind of like this when I test recipes and all that whatnot. I need to make sure that the baseline bread is good on its own. The aesthetics are secondhand. The important things are what you get. If you have a good base to work off of, you have a great bread to eat off of, you know? You gotta think about the basics. Once the basics are set in stone, the world is the oyster. You can eat it however you'd like. Chuck it, fry it, raw, whatever it may be, poached even. They have a thermostat, so you have to set a temperature. There may also be a fan. Wish my oven had a fan, it'd be nice. But it's all heat from the bottom, it's conduction, not convection. Convection ovens are so great. I would love a convection oven. Alas, that is not the world I live in. Alright. Yeah, it seems like my little glitchiness, my little bit of attitude is just getting back onto the camera feed. Bit of, what's the word? A bit of, not resilience? What's the word where it's like, interference? Yeah. Just the unfortunate work of my own interference with other sort of worldly camera work. This is why I'm not really good with cameras. They just don't like me, and I don't like them back. So. That being said, did I set a timer? Oh shoot, I did not. I'm gonna check in 5 minutes. Convection ovens are the best. That's how I feel about math. What do you mean? For me, I just forgot to set the timer, so don't know what you mean. What you mean? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm staring at Twitter. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm not looking at Twitter anymore. Ugh. I don't like math and it doesn't like me. Okay, fair enough. I love math. It's the tism inside of me, along with being Asian. We love profiling! So. And then I just like math because of all the things in the world, math makes the most sense. You know? 1 plus 1 is always going to be 2. 2 plus 2 is always going to be 4. 1/2 of 4 is going to be 2. It's numbers and they just work. They just make sense. Now, when we get into like trigonometry and stuff like that, then it's like, okay, this is just out of my field. I do not care anymore about this math. But like when it's like multiplication, decimals, percents, fractions, basic algebra, I can get by algebra. Anything else, it's kind of up in the air. Yeah, I mean, I'm even fine of like exponents and powers and stuff like that. Etc. It's fine. I like algebra. Algebra is fine. I've never gone into what is it? Really intense college maths. I forgot what it's called. Calculus. So I don't really know what my opinion would be with calculus. Actually, you know what? Let's go take a calculus test. Ah, yes. Oh, yes. Of course. What's a great thing to do? Taking a calculus test. Let's just go do a calculus test. From online, an online calculus test. Why is there so many weird things? I've also never taken a calculus test in my entire life, so I don't really know anything about calculus. Alright, here, let me pull up the smartboard. Look carefully at the graph and at the definition of M. Oh, okay, M is lim, H is 0. Which of the following statements are true? The slope is of the curve is 2. Okay, yeah, never mind. No idea how calculus works. Here, okay. What does my whole being logically tell me? Well, okay, so it's either these two or these two that make the most sense. I don't know why these, like, 1 and 2 would make the most sense, so those are things that won't make sense. 3 and 4, that's not gonna make sense. It is giving all the possibilities, though. That makes sense. The slope of CB is M. C going to... Oh, those are the lines that are going, not parallel, but, like, crossing points. The slope of the curve, y25, y.25, y is... Where is y? Is this y? Oh, is it talking about... Oh wait, what's it talking about? It's talking about k? The slope of the curve at 2n is m, but what's m? What does n mean? I mean, k is correct, so the answer has to be 1. That is true. That's the only one that's saying that's correct. Does that mean it's right? Hold on, hold that thought. Bread's done. Okay. Alright. And the loaf goes in. Loaf pan oven, go. Alright, so I got that completely wrong. 2 and 4. It was both 2 and 4. I don't understand calculus. I'm gonna do the next question because I'm stupid. Hi Axo. Hello there. Hi Una. Hi Una. Math is the enemy and always will be. No, I think calculus is the enemy now. I love algebra, and I like numbers and percents and fractions and decimals and stuff like that that makes logical sense. I like that stuff. But calculus, maybe it's just because wait, that's the power. Wait, this is the power. Oh wait, this is PEMDAS. Wait, I understand. To try and use the values from 2, try to use the following formulas. Then what reasonable hypothesis could Terry form but envision? This is too small. Oh wait, it's talking about like the value to the power of a2 minus 1. We could try and individually find it out, but I'm too late for that. You know what? I'm really feeling this one. Damn it! I was gonna choose that one too. Okay, let me just not look at calculus anymore. It's making me a little upset. Alright, haven't looked at it since high school, thank God. I've never done calculus, so I don't know anything about calculus. This is the annoying sort of question that makes sense only as a test, but doesn't resemble any use of calculus. Yeah, rocket science, I think that's where it stops though. Yeah. Yeah, above that, that's well above my pay grade, as if I. Oh my god, calculus? Hello, boss man. Are you winning? Yeah, we're winning. We're bread winning, if you will. Look, we got some bread. I'm excited. The Zuzu's bread looks actually quite nice, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. The sourdough turned out nicely. Just my oven sucks. How do you feel about statistics? That's the one. That's the one that took me out, unfortunately. Statistics, like. I think I don't know. I've never done statistics. I've only done basic algebra and then advanced algebra. I've only just done algebra. That is pretty much my bread and butter. I only know algebra. That's all I know. That's all I ever know. And honestly, I think that's all I really need to know, because algebra is actually quite useful. Like, there's a case of water. One case of water has 12 bottles, but is like $2. But there's another case of 8 bottles that's like $1.59. By the count, which one is more cheaper, what's more worth your bank. And I believe that the per count, the 8 would be cheaper, because I said 149. So then the math you would have to do is like, oh, okay, so 8 divided by 1.9. No, wait. 1.49 divided by about 18 cents per bottle versus 12 divided by, did I say 8? No, it was $2. $2 by that, it'd be $1.16. So it would be literally a penny off. A literal penny off if you got the 8 stack. That's math. That's the kind of math I do. That's the kind of math I like, and that also just makes sense for me. And also the math I actually regularly use when I like convert recipes and numbers, and when I get through my Excel sheets, and you get the idea. I just realized you guys haven't had any music at all. I'm a bad streamer. Here, let me put on some smooth jazz. How are you lads able to just sit there in absolute silence as I'm talking about bullshit? Jeez. Isn't stats just guesstimation? Like means and medians and ranges? Is that what you're talking about? Because doing means, medians, and ranges and stuff like that is really easy. Medians is just adding all the numbers and then... No, okay, means is literally just PEMDAS. Ranges is subtraction. I forgot there's 2 more, but I think they're kind of just nonsensical, to say simply. They make no sense. I mean, they're not useful. Yeah, the ranges is like the most. And then there's another one where it's like, oh, which number is the most repeating? Like if you have 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 5 would be the most recurring number, but I forgot what that's called. But then if you got like 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, that's like, well, you add that all together, then you divide it by the amount of people, then you get that by the amount of individual numbers. So like I said 5 5s, you would add them all together, it's 25, then you divide it by 5, and it's 5 again, so you would find that the mean is 5. Wow! And then range is like, oh, 100, 6, 20, 5, 5, 2, 50. I think I said 5. That was the lowest number I said, I think. I don't remember what I'm saying. I don't see what I'm seeing on what I'm saying. But 100 minus 5, then the range is then 95. Wow. Numbers. Very easy. If you just know the formula, it's like you pretty much won the entire game. Anyways. Very nice looking bread. Thank you. It's a lot of figuring out how they want to swing the bias, so it's political math is what you're telling me. You're telling me that this math, you're telling me statistics is political math. You gotta just get it swinging in the right direction. I was only ever good at trigonometry. I don't remember trigonometry. The only kind of math I don't like is linear algebra. Heck, matrices. I don't know what you mean by this. You're so brave to like any of it, Ari. I love algebra, so what does that make me? We're just good at yapping. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I enjoy hearing a fella yap even in silence. You're psycho. Oh, speaking of which, is the music too loud? I don't know. I'm asking these things because I do not know. Actually, I took my headset off, so matrices. I don't know what matrices are. Yeah, I don't know what you mean by matrices. The addition of matrices. Oh wait, isn't it just like fractional math? I guess. I've never seen matrices. It looks like adding exponents and whatchamacallit? Exponents and who's to say? I can't remember. Music might be a touch loud. Thank you for telling me. These are the things I need to know. Hopefully that cut it off. Well, okay, maybe cut it a bit much there. Okay, maybe that's a bit loud still. Okay, hopefully that should be fine. Hey, you know what? Let's scare you guys. I want to make you guys feel pain and suffering. I'm gonna show you guys some light algebra math that should be very easy. Okay, chat, I want you to solve this. What does this equal? It's very easy. Oh, and also, I want to mess with you guys even more. Make it into a percent. There, okay, wow, Ari's the one. Ari's so fast. Look at her, she even made it into a percent. Holy hell. Wow, alright, Ari, you get to do another question now. Alright, let's make it a little bit more funny. Let's do this. And we'll do... No. We'll do, 3. No, actually, I'm gonna fuck with you even more. There you go! It's basic max, Your Honor. I know! I just think this stuff is funny, because I remember in when I was being educated and stuff like that, people got up in heels about this, and it's like, oh man, how do you do this? I don't understand these maths. And it's like, how do you not understand these maths? Because it's like, oh, okay, for some reason you actually multiply it, but then you flip the numbers backwards, but now you can simplify this to 1, this can be 4, and then you get, nope, wait, so 12 over 5. Math. And like, I don't know, it's cool. It's math. Math. It just makes sense. It makes logical sense. And that's why math is great. It just works. Yeah, Todd Howard would love math because it just works. Anyways. I need to fill up my water bottle. Hold on. You know what? Hell to it. I'm gonna actually stand up and we're gonna actually go to the kitchen real quick. Okay. Things will become in motion once more. I need to fill my water bottle up because, oh boy, I'm very thirsty. I need some aqua. Water. Wawa. And also, just letting you lads know, you guys should hydrate and drink some water too, or I will come after you and kill you in Minecraft. Of course, Minecraft, Minecraft. I just hope that you are drinking something a little bit better than water from a tap. Because unfortunately, that is the unfortunate water that I am currently drinking. Water from the tap. I love the little touch of lead. It adds a bit of sweetness to my water. Yep, that's sugar sweet to me. I never drink water. That's not based, that's bad. Ari, don't encourage her. Bad. Yeah, Ari, stop enabling her. My god. She needs to drink water. But it's so cool. But Una is so cool. Yeah, okay, you know, you're right, she is cool, but you know what's cooler than being cool? Hydrated! Because that's how you get cool! You get cool by getting hydrated, because the human body needs the water so it can regulate its temperature or something like that, I think. Listen, does it seem like I know anything about biology? No, not really. I hope you don't think that. Shit about biology. We both know I can't get clear wine here. Have you tried going outside and then going out in the rain and just opening your mouth and looking upwards and going ah? If you have not done that, you have not tried everything. And thus, Your Honor, I call you a liar. Oh, and by the way, here's the other breads. Ooh, it's actually quite fluffy and soft. Damn. It's like, that's kind of what milk bread is supposed to be. No. Hold on, I gotta calibrate myself real quick. I hope that calibrated correctly. I'm not sure. But, here's what is it? This is, oh, wait, that didn't calibrate correctly at all. Fix that. I drink water sometimes, but it can't be pure, needs flavor. Well, why not you drink some Gamer Subs? Not sponsored, but like, hey, Gamer Subs is quite a lovely thing to have. I think it's quite good. Alright, so there are two styles of like buns I did here. I think these are a lot better than what these look like. If you can see them, are they on screen? Yeah, they're on screen. So these... Hold on, wait. Oh, that's the alarm going off. So before I talk about these bad boys, and I move this pan that was just previously in an oven that was 375 degrees. Ow, that kind of hurt. Yeah, so it didn't really rise that much. Unfortunate. Loss. Okay. I'm gonna let that go for another 15. Alright. So anyways. Ow, that hurts. So, these are the breads. I rolled them up a bit differently, but they do look nice. I do like the way they look. Very, very cute. You could say that they're like the hair buns on like Zoo. Imagine like this is Zoo's head. The hair buns. Wow, it's like night and day. It's like looking in a portrait of her. Yes. Okay, so anyways, it actually kind of smells like... Actually, I'm not sure what it smells like, because it definitely smells like the tea I drink. Kinda, but I'm not sure if that's just the sweet if that's just the sugar that's caramelized. Salty, in your humble baker opinion, what kind of bread would go great with peanut butter? Asking for me. So it depends. If you're having like a PB&J, I would definitely say if you're having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I would definitely say milk bread would be your best bet. If you want a peanut butter and fluff sandwich, you have to go white bread. You have to. Peanut butter and fluff, you gotta go for white bread. If you're going for peanut butter and jelly, you gotta go for milk bread. If you're going for peanut and bread, you can kind of go with whatever, really. Milk bread. Bread. It has to be loaf bread, though. If you do like... If I made a peanut butter jelly sandwich with this, I would probably be shot down by heresy, because that is wrong and incorrect and weird. So yes, that is my somewhat humble opinion. Anyways, I've let this I've let these cool off long enough. They are still quite warm to the touch, and they just smell really good. The aroma of like the cherry blossom tea definitely stuck around. So I'm wondering how it tastes. So, enough talk. Let me give it a taste here. It's soft. That's good. You can Nope, there it is. Definitely takes a moment. Yeah, like this is a spectacular, like very simple basic bread. It's nice and fluffy. And the gluten develops quite nicely because I can smash this and almost like re-inflates. The best way I can describe it? It's not really as pancake flack anymore. The cherry blossom flavor is very much there, but it's more in the background. Yeah. This is actually quite interesting, just because when I was thinking about making breads with like tea and all that whatnot, I would have thought that this was going to be a little bitter, because I would think like, oh, after a certain amount of time when you're baking bread with like tea and stuff like that, it's going to become volatile and the flavors of the tea is going to get burnt or something like that. I thought it would be a little bitter, but this is actually quite nice. It's actually just like bread. This is... Okay, wait. I'm realizing now as I'm just like having my... just not talking for a second. With the tea I have, I can very much like taste the aftertaste of it is very cherry blossom-like. Once more, it's very subtle, but that could also just be changed and circumvented by just adding a stronger tea. I mean, letting it steep longer, or more tea bags and stuff like that. So, but this is very good. I'm not gonna be able to eat all this bread, but I definitely know a lot of people that will eat this bread. That's good though. I don't think it needs anything sweeter. It's actually quite nice because I know that that's actually this. I might just have to deal with that, how that is. Might want to downsize the recipe a bit and try and get a better gauge of how much needs to be put into it, but it's good. Doesn't need any salt. If anything, it needs stronger tea, but that's something that can be easily fixed. So I think that might be good. I don't think there's anything else to worry about other than aesthetics. So next time, I'll work on that. But I'm more excited for this, honestly. Look on the backside. Ooh, nice. A little bit of char, but that's nice because it's nice and glistening, and smells good. Ooh, wait. So, I'm not sure you can hear. It's really crispy on the end here, and also it's really nice. It's holding its shape very well, but I'm just gonna take a big old bite here, and you're gonna listen to it, okay? Yeah. This is some really good Look, here's the bite, so you can see that I did take a bite out of it, but... Mouth size, approximately 8 inches at widest point, no major dental alterations? You know what? Now I feel like you're calling me like a small biter. I'm gonna take a big old bite once I swallow this bit of focaccia. But this does taste good. Definitely get that nice sour flavor. It smells good. If anything, it needs more olive oil. Okay, so here. I'm gonna take a big boy bite now, alright? You see the 2 little bites here? Alright. What? Like a whole chunk of yeah. What do you say about that? Goddamn boy, are you part? Yeah, that's what I want to hear. Obviously. All right, I gotta segregate that part off because I'm still gonna give this bread out to some people, and I don't think they want to touch the stuff where it's like that's where the mouth is. There's so much bread. Oh wow, who would have thought a mouthful of bread is a lot of bread? Oh. I could understand all of that and none of it at the same time. Well, for those that understood that, you know what I said. And if you didn't understand what I said, get better at talking with your mouth full of food. Anyways, I'm gonna like eat half of this real quick. Yeah, it's good bread. Good focaccia. It's good. Really good. They're like a damn gopher or a squirrel or something like that. Cheeks full of bread. Oh, there goes my dinner. There goes my dinner now. I'm not gonna be able to eat that. Oh. Yeah, it's good focaccia. Really good. Has that nice sour funk. Rich, crispy, and crunchy out the outside, but the inside is nice and fluffy and soft. It's I honestly really think there's one issue, and it's kind of a funny issue to have. But it needs more olive oil, and I added a lot of olive oil. Throughout the process of the day of me trying to proof it and let it rise, I let it go for a real long time, but I feel like it needs more olive oil. I don't know. Little baby bite. Wow. Alright, let me get the other bread. I can finally turn the oven off. Huh. I mean, for what it is, quite cute. But this isn't really what I'm going for, unfortunately. Yeah. It smells good, though. It looks quite nice as well. I can't complain. I can definitely smell the strawberry flavor, the scent. Very much cherry blossom. But the vanilla flavoring that I added, the extract, is kind of muted. You can't really smell it at all. Dip it in oil for eating. That is true. That is something else I can do as well. I can do that. That is true. Well, yeah. So far, all of this is pretty much good, except for maybe two things. That the focaccia needs more oil. I gotta tinker of this recipe because the hydration is way too low. And then I just gotta kind of change the portioning for Zuzu spread. Everything in regulation, I suppose. Regulation? I don't know what the word is. Accompanied with olives and mozzarella. I don't really like olives. Well, I don't like Kalamata olives. Kalamata olives just make me sad. They're just kind of too briny for me. I don't like Kalamatas, but like other olives are quite good. There's a yellow one I tried. I don't. It starts with an M. But it's like, it was really nice. It was like buttery, fruity, olivey still, but it was very good. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it was a good one. Okay, we're moving around. Hey. There we go. Moderation. Moderation in the sense of food, the amount of bread I'm eating today, because I'm definitely not taking enough moderation for that. Too much bread, honestly. But I'll probably not. We'll see. Maybe there'll be enough time to cut into the spica bread. But I think I definitely am gonna go tinker with the recipe right now. Let me go. Bread. BT bread. This one. All right. I will increase the hydration, and that might actually even be better. 155. 175. What was the other milk? 179. I mean 79, yeah. Relatively speaking, 71, that's a little better. Yeah, that's gonna be better. Alright. 71, that is something I'm gonna have to work with later. There we go. Spica bread, Zuzu bread, and now that bread is done. I'm gonna bring the smart board back up. Alright, so the sourdough focaccia, I'm just gonna actually just double that, honestly. It really needs a lot more. Honestly, it could use actually a touch more salt too. And, it doesn't really need any more sugar. It's quite good how it is. So, that's that. Wow. Sourdough recipe. Done. Now the VTuber breads though, I forgot the the edits I did. The show coupon for the Japanese style, 175 with the cream. So a lot more liquid. Heavy cream, tea bag, vanilla, egg. I'm probably gonna have to add more vanilla. That's gonna be something I need to think and consider. I don't think there's anything with Zuzu bread I want to really tinker with. I mean, if anything, an extra gram of salt will be nice, I guess. You know what? We'll take it to 7. I think it actually really does need more salt. Cream is fine. It's fluffy, it's soft, it does the job very nicely. Yeah, no, I think that... Yeah, alright, let me make that edit to my spreadsheet as well, just because... Consistency. I am not showing my spreadsheet, by the way, because that is going to be too much work. 24 grams, 26 grams, we're gonna 4, that's better. Yeah, that should be good. Oh, I should actually put my headset back on so I can actually hear. I can hear stuff now, good. I would say this is ready to be shipped and sent and put onto the thing here. But I need to get a better picture, so I'm definitely probably gonna do that sometime over the weekend. Not the weekend. Well, I don't know. I'll do it eventually. 350 might be a better call. I did it at 375, and I think letting it go for 10 to 16 minutes might be good. 12 to 18. I think that's really it. I can't really say anything about the Spica bread until I try it. So you know what? Just because, once more, I'm not really caring too much about the semantics. I don't really care about the looks. I just kind of wanted to care about the taste. So, it's very crusty and crumbly, which is interesting. I imagine that is just due to the higher amount of cream, a lot more fat, and the egg yolk. It smells very strawberry-like, and I guess the strawberry needs to be mixed in with the liquid, because it didn't. I mixed it with the dries, but it didn't really work very well. Not sure if even I added too much or too little. So now I'm gonna go back to the smortboard here and actually do some tinkering, because I'm going to make sure extract, okay, powder, separately, so that's gonna be all mixed. So the color of the pink is more evenly distributed. Alright, let's see. What does this taste like? Okay. So there's a lot going on, and I'm confused. For one thing, it's like a biscuit, like it's crumbly. Not a bad thing, but it is something to think of. It actually might be a touch too sweet. Oh, you can see this now. Oh, you can see the spreadsheet. Oh, I don't know. I don't want you to see it. Yeah, I think that definitely needs less sugar. So I am going to make a copy, create a copy. So this definitely needs less sugar. I don't have a sugar percent. Do oh. Six is a thing 9%. I'm gonna take that 9% to okay, well 27 is gonna be the magical number then. Sugar, 8% value. Actually, that might make it even a little bit more drier. Gotta probably add more. Actually, I could just take away flour. What am I doing? 260. No, actually, I need to make it more. 180. 72. I could push 200. Nah, that's just fine. Yeah, the cream's gonna already add a lot of richness. I might be able to even take the egg out. Yeah, okay, the percent of the salt, the yeast. The yeast is actually quite high. Low, actually. I should probably add full 7. It could honestly use a touch more salt. Make that 5. 2% versus the 1.5, that works just fine. There's sugar, that's also gonna make a contribution to the yeast. The yeast growth. Vanilla. Oh wait, yeah. I just realized that there was basically no vanilla flavor. Gonna bump that up to doubling. 30 grams of vanilla extract. It's gonna be quite a lot. Vanilla, sugar, bread, flour, yandane, yeast and creme. This should be good. Right, version 2 has been made. Yippee. I just realized I was editing the main version. Oh well. This is now gonna be fun. Version 1. Version 2. Here. And now I actually gotta put this in my little recipe so I can actually have, because the thing is I need to make sure all my recipes are written down somewhere else. Ugh. I need to make sure they're all written down and made correctly because I don't very much often have like my sheets on standby, so having it on this dock and then I can test it whenever I feel like it. Let's say at work. It works quite nicely, you know. 5 salt, yeast 7, red flour 270. Am I showing you the thing? I am. 1 egg yolk. Egg yolk. Cream, egg yolk, vanilla. Yeah, I'm gonna put the strawberry powder here. There we go. 1 teaspoon of strawberry powder. Yudane, I don't know, I can't speak Japanese. Yeah, that should be good. Alright. Well, I have to now do that sometime soon. That soon being not today, not tomorrow, but it will be soon-ish. Because I actually have a little thing here I will show you because, I don't know, fun. Not you. Gotta go to the sheets. Because I actually have a fairly sizable schedule here of breads I want to make and also breads I wasn't able to make because I forgot. I was tired. But, yeah, I can definitely say I did these two. So that's done. Yeah, I wanted to do more breads yesterday, but I was just too tired. Gotta still do that. Sourdough, maybe I don't need to do that. I'll probably do some other breads and whatnot. But, I know I made it. Okay, so funny thing, because I know I made a schedule for this week. Some things are most likely subjected to change because I have a very funny stream I'm going to be doing with someone. I don't think I'm going to be streaming it on my side. I think they're going to stream it. It is a watch along, I think. Maybe this week, maybe next. Don't know when. They have to get back to me. But we are going to do a watch along stream and that's going to be fun. It's going to be of a very cursed, a very not cursed, but a very weird telling of Christianity. So, yeah. You have a scheduled sourdough? Yeah, of course. If you don't know, I have to make at least one sourdough loaf a week or I go insane. No ands, no ifs, no buts. If I don't make one, I'm going to kill someone in Minecraft. So yes. Definitely gotta work on Mila's bread and Mip's bread. Shucks and Daishima, I can probably hold off for a while. I got a really cool bread I want to do for Shucks, but that's gonna take a lot of time still. Well, not time, I actually need to go buy some cheese. I gotta go get that. Even though I went shopping yet. Let's see. Sourdough. By the way, this is looping back around because I made this schedule Friday, so this is gonna then loop around to the next week. Because currently I'm on technically this week is this. Next week is gonna be that. So maybe I'll move this to next week. Maybe I'll make this that week, depending on how that works. Sourdough, because I love sourdough. You can't stop me. You won't stop me. I will always make sourdough bread. It is part of my very being. Okay. Would be good. So, hey, if you lot don't get the memo... if you aren't getting the memo here, I am going to most likely I'm gonna most likely be doing some cheese breads next week. Hold on, let me bring up the next docky. Alright. Actually, there is a few things I need to work on here. I definitely think that if I ever start working on Mila's bread, I'm gonna work on Una, because they both use blueberry, or they have some blueberry attributes. If you don't really get the memo, I usually try and do bread testings with breads that kind of overlap for each other. Like with Spikas and Zuzus, since they're both Sakura, cherry blossom-like things, I did them together. There's another tuber on here that I was gonna do, but the issue is, I don't remember that. That's the nicest way of saying, I just don't remember. Unless I took it off already. It's this one. Honey Sakura Steakhouse Rolls. I don't remember who this one is, and I try to look them up and try and find them. Can't find them. I know that they're like Janet Voop chat, but yeah. But if you want to take a little look-see, if you want to see if your name is a part of the game over here, if like, oh, am I gonna be made into bread? Am I gonna turn into bread? You can look in here. These are my current things I'm currently working on. The points of interest I am currently just like really focused in. I actually gotta go buy something on Amazon. I gotta go buy Gorchi. So, take that for what you will. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm very much not excited for this because I don't like espresso or coffee. Let me tell ya, I know, this might make coffee lads upset. But you lot that like coffee, I gotta say, how do you drink that stuff? I know. I tried coffee for the first time a little bit a while ago, and I will acknowledge that it was mushroom coffee. But it smells exactly how coffee. It tastes how. Okay, it tastes how exactly coffee usually tastes for me. Okay, wait, it tastes how normal coffee smells to me. So I, in my head, thinks it works. And I would think that it's a proper candidate. It's not even like flavor was bad. It doesn't really. It actually didn't taste like mushroom at all. If anything, it just tasted really bitter. And the best way I can describe you the flavor, it tasted like office work, depression, and high school drama. Yeah, it just makes me it made me sad drinking it. It's like, huh. This is really sad. And the funny thing is, this was actually done at work. So we had like a whole like proper coffee machine, a milk foamer, and this and that. And like they used milk base because they did a base of milk frothing and stuff like that because I just did water and it was sad. But they did milk, they did it professionally and steamed it and blah, 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 blah. It tasted less bitter, but it still was like sad. It still had the idea of like, yeah, this is sad. This makes me feel sad. This makes me think of like office life. So, Okie doke. I am running out of steam though. I think we may have to dip. I think I might send you guys off to someone. Let me yeah. A lot I gotta do. Ugh. The more I think about it, the more tired I get. I'm not gonna think about it anymore. Okie doke. Well, let's see. Where can I send you lots to? Yeah, I don't know where I can send you lots to. Is there... Actually, I could send you to... Or is this the one that's an that's one that's no, I can't. Is this the one that... No, I don't think it is. Oh wait, they have League of Legends on the stream. Okay, I'm not sending you to them. I'm gonna send you a lot to Tori, I think. I think that might be best. Looks like she's playing a very cute and cozy game. There seems to be an axolotl involved, and they are something to do with water. So I'm gonna send you a lot over there. I think that sounds like a great idea, no? So, let me send you guys off to her. Alrighty. Thank you a lot for joining in today. I hope you guys have had fun listening to me yap and chat and talk about all that whatnot and stuff. I'm gonna send you guys on YouTube side. I'm gonna send you guys to someone else. Rem, I believe. We rated them last time and they seemed nice. So we're gonna rate them again. So, that is enough for me today. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you guys had a great time listening to me yap, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you guys, I think tomorrow. I think I'm doing a stream tomorrow. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you guys have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening. And I will see you around tomorrow-ish. Yeah. I gotta go clean my... Alt F4'd Kichee, everyone, and ciao. Bye-bye. See you around.